Greetings, everyone. Father Jim here. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday, and it's the 9th day of January. And of course, we have re-entered ordinary time. We've left the Christmas season behind us from yesterday's feast day of the baptism of our Lord. So I'll be reading from both of our readings today. Our first reading, we go to the Old Testament book, the very first book of Samuel, chapter 1, beginning with verse 9. Hannah rose after a meal at Shiloh, presented herself before the Lord. At the time, Eli the priest was sitting on a chair near the doorpost of the Lord's temple. In her bitterness, she prayed to the Lord, weeping copiously, and she made a vow, promising, O Lord of hosts, if you took with pity on the misery of your handmaid, if you remember me and do not forget me, if you give your handmaid a male child, I will give him to the Lord for as long as he lives. Neither wine nor liquor shall he drink, and no razor shall ever touch his head. As she remained long at prayer before the Lord, Eli watched her mouth, for Hannah was praying silently. Though her lips were moving, her voice could not be heard. Eli, thinking her drunk, said to her, How long will you make a drunken show of yourself? Sober up from your wine. It isn't that, my lord, Hannah answered. I am an unhappy woman. I have had neither wine nor liquor. I was only pouring out my troubles to the Lord. Do you think your handmaid a ne'er-do-well? My prayer has been prompted by my deep sorrow and misery. Eli said, Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him. She replied, Think kindly of your maidservant, and left. She went to her quarters, ate and drank with her husband, and no longer appeared downcast. Early the next morning she worshipped before the Lord and then returned to their home in Ramah. When Elkanah had relations with his wife Hannah, the Lord remembered her. She conceived, and at the end of her term bore a son, whom she called Samuel, since she had asked the Lord for him. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. And our gospel today is, of course, from St. Mark, chapter 1, verses 21 through 28. Jesus came to Capernaum and with his followers, and on the Sabbath he entered the synagogue and taught. The people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. In their synagogue was a man with an unclean spirit. He cried out, What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. Jesus rebuked him and said, Quiet, come out of him. The unclean spirit convulsed him, and with a loud cry came out of him. All were amazed and asked one another, What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. How should we respond to the presence and action of God in our lives each day? Well, the readings for today reveal some key responses. Going back to our first reading, Hannah approaches God with a heartfelt plea for a child, and she immediately trusts that God has heard her. God blesses her with a son. And in a few verses after this passage, Hannah praises God and then surrenders Samuel to him. In our gospel, members of the crowd respond to Jesus' teaching and his authority over evil spirits with awe, recognizing Jesus' mastery over the teaching of God and the evil spirits. While our world is a very different one than it was in the times of Hannah, and as well as our Lord's, God's love for us and his desire to answer our prayers certainly has not changed, and neither has the power and the authority of our risen Lord Jesus Christ. If we take the time to pray and observe the world around us, we can see that God is still very present in our world and in our lives, working through the people we love, or through the movements and hearts of people who strive in different ways to make the world a better place. Like Hannah and the crowd in the gospel, we can trust God's power and his love for us and rely on Jesus' mastery over demons and evils of our time and the chaos that often envelops our daily lives. So let us stand in awe before the Lord, who is always present to us each day, as well as his authority over all creation. Well, I hope your Tuesday is going well. Let's keep praying for one another as we continue to move through this week. God bless you. Take care.